Hey guys, welcome to our Best of 2020 podcast. So, all singles released this year, we're going to talk through what we think are the very, very best ones. Now, as I've mentioned in previous videos, 2020 has been quite challenging for a lot of reasons, and musically is no different. We have slim pickings, to say the least, but there are some really good songs this year, so we want to share with you guys the ones that we think are worth adding to a playlist or worth a listen. We've also got some really good suggestions from Instagram as well, so thanks guys for those. So we'll get cracking. Okay, number one was Sweet Melody by Little Mix. So every song in this list has been released in 2020, and this one was from their latest album, Confetti. So what do you think of this song?
I'm not Little Mix's biggest fan, to say the least.
Okay.
But it's not a bad song, actually. It's not. I think it's one of their best ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
As far as their songs
Yeah,
go.
definitely. We heard this song when we watched the televised competition show, The Search, where they created bands who competed to win the spot as their support band for their tour in 2021. If it goes ahead, that is. So what I really loved about this show was that it was actually talented soloists, like good quality singers for the most part, that were being shown on it. Normally on these reality shows there is a lot of bad singers or sob stories, really just kind of pad the show out, whereas this was all about good quality.
Yeah, I thought there were some good singers, and they did a band one as well where they played instruments as well, and they were good.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't, like you say, just a random anyone can audition. They'd obviously done their pre-auditions and then they had the selected ones go through.
Yeah, I was absolutely hooked on this show. I loved it. I thought it was really super girly, so it was something really nice to watch. But also, as I said, there were some really talented musicians on the show. I wouldn't say I agreed with all of their choices. I probably would have picked other people, but I think that they obviously made the right choice in the end because they did put some good bands together. Hopefully they did make the choices themselves. A lot of the time with these shows,
you never know.
Yeah, I'm a bit sceptical because when it is reality TV, there is always a level of intervention from producers and whatnot. But I like to hope that they did make the choices themselves. And the winning band was the musician band, which was really cool.
Did they win in the end? I never saw the final episode, actually.
Yeah, it was since September.
Yeah,
the boy band.
That's right. Yeah.
And they were good. I thought they were good. So really, really enjoyed that. Sadly, we've had news that Jessie Nelson has just announced she's leaving the band.
A couple of days ago she announced it, didn't she? Yeah.
I'm actually really sad about it.
Do you think they'll replace her?
I don't know. If so, I'll go for the audition.
Yes.
No, I've never really, I did like Little Mix.
Yeah.
I watched the series of The X Factor where they won, and I watched it week by week, and I wanted them to win. I might have even voted for them, I can't remember. But when they won, I was so happy. But from then on, I wasn't really, a lot of their music wasn't really for me.
Yeah, no, I was never particularly a fan. But I think in that series they did a few vocal harmony, the covers of songs where the vocal harmonies are actually quite good. I think on Vogue they did.
Yeah, their vocals blend together really, really well. And I think that's what's made them last so long. But yeah, it was really sad news about Jessie Nelson, but I don't blame her. She's been through so much, the poor girl. We watched the show about Jessie Nelson, where she talked about her online bullying and things, and it was really, really sad.
It was sad, yeah. And she stated in the when she announced she's leaving, kind of the pressures and the mental pressures is the reason why she's leaving.
Yeah.
So I think that show kind of showed how hard it was for her in the band. So you can understand why she's leaving.
And she's a beautiful girl. Like when I watched the show, I was probably about 20, and I never really saw her as any different than the others. Never ever thought anything about her weight, or so I've no idea what the media's got against her. But she doesn't deserve it, and if she needs to take a break and just focus on more important things, don't blame her. So but back to the song. There are a lot of rumours about this song. Some fans believe that it is fired at Zayn Malik, who dated Perry, for 4 years, and they were engaged. And that's based on the lines that he was in the band, wrote love songs about me.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And he would lie, he would cheat over syncopated beats. So and then other fans believe that it was about Jade Thirlwall and her 3-year relationship with the Struts bassist, Jed Elliott.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually they were all wrong. what is said from my research online was that Leanne and Jade first came across this song when they were in LA doing some sessions with Taylor Parks.
Okay.
So that's the Seven Rings writer, played it to them.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then Jade told Apple Music that she and Leanne were singing it for days after. So then as soon as they heard that, they were like, yep, sold.
They liked the song.
Yeah. And Leanne said with that beat dropping in the chorus, I was like, okay, that's it, it's a banger.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they didn't write it at all, they just liked it.
Yeah,
and I like it too.
Fair enough.
Definitely one of my favourite songs.
One of yours for this year then?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So so number 2, we've got Physical by Dua Lipa. Now, I did mention this one in our previous podcast, which was our jogging playlist, so I won't talk about this one too much, but be sure to check that playlist out, because I talked an awful lot about Dua Lipa in that one. What I will say about her was something that was really interesting, is that Dua Lipa actually started out as a model. She was approached to be a model, but left her agency because they recommended that she should lose a lot of weight to get more jobs.
Yeah. You hear about this in the model industry, don't you?
Well, yeah, it happens, you know. Having worked in the industry as a makeup artist, you see the way that they speak to people.
Really?
Yeah. I've heard like photographers say to a model, "Oh, you've got really long arms, haven't you?" It's like, how's that?
And now they're conscious of it for the rest of the shoot.
Yeah, get me where it hurts my arm length. But if you're a model on the camera, you're going to straight away think, "Oh, do I look weird?"
Yeah.
And it's a really cutthroat industry, and obviously good for her that she didn't let it bother her, and she didn't need it. She didn't need that leg up.
Yeah.
She's now got a few songs in the charts
Exactly.
in her latest album, which is Future Nostalgia, but apparently it's not good enough to just be tall and slim in the industry anymore. You've got to be whatever they want at the time, you know. So but I thought that was really cool of her that she didn't sort of let that get to her.
She carried on.
Yeah, went for what she wanted instead. So well done Dua Lipa, and she's doing super well. Okay, so number 3, we've got No Time to Die, and that's by Billie Eilish. Now, this was a toss-up between this song and her other single, My Future, which was also released this year. So I did put it out to Instagram, and I let the followers decide, and they chose this song. It was only a fraction in it, this 57%.
Okay.
Of the followers chose this one.
No, I agree. I think I like this song. And I'm not, again, Billie Eilish's biggest fan either. No. But I do think she's got some good songs, actually. But this one I really like. Yeah. I think it's a great song. It's very Bond themed, isn't it? Very chromatic notes going through, gives you that kind of creepy, haunted kind of.
So what is it that makes a Bond theme tune? Because they all do have that similar. You know one when you hear one, don't you?
Well, the main Bond theme, that little electric guitar theme, that's in every film.
Dun, 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 dun,
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's using chromatic notes. So in other words, it's using notes that aren't in the scale going through them, and it gives it this kind of off, kind of creepy kind of vibe.
Creepy but cool.
Yeah, it does, and it has to be done right, otherwise it sounds awful.
Yeah.
But obviously in that main theme it works. And then in all of the big songs that they choose for each individual film, they've got that similar kind of thing as well, whereas this kind of chromatic notes creeping in there, which give it that kind of vibe that you get from all of these, particularly the last series of films.
Definitely.
It seems to be in them, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I do actually. I really like this song. I did like My Future as well, because I think that one's really simple in construction. I think it makes you focus on the lyrics. You're listening out for the next sentence. But for me, this song did have the edge as well. But you know, I love Bond theme tunes anyway.
That's it.
But I thought it was. I do like it.
I really like it as well. And there's Johnny Marr was the guitarist on this, but you only really hear that guitar in that last chord at the end.
Oh, right.
It's like they flew him out there and played one chord. Right, that'll do, thank you.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. But it is all the way through as well. But
but I mean, it's a big deal to be given a Bond theme tune. She's only young. It's a huge deal. And given that she was 4 years old when Daniel Craig first played Bond.
Really?
Yeah.
He's been playing for that long?
Yeah.
God.
Well, no, she's just that young.
She's that young, yeah.
Well, he has been playing for a while. You know, he's on to his 5th film now, isn't he? He's doing super well.
Yeah. 4 years old.
She's the youngest artist in history to record a Bond theme tune.
Is she?
Yeah.
Good fact. That's a pub quiz fact,
yeah. Yeah. So there you go, you can all have that one. She was thrilled about it, which I really like as well. Yeah. She wasn't too, she was made up about it, which I think is really, really cool.
Because it's her brother that produces a lot of her stuff.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it? And I was watching a little documentary about it the other day, about her album. It was not about this song, but she basically just sat on the bed without holding a microphone and recorded the entire album like that. Which she's got that very kind of mellow voice, hasn't she? Kind of.
Yeah, she's got a level of maturity to her voice, given her age. Yeah. And she doesn't try too hard, which I think a lot of young artists in the industry do. They almost feel like they have to bellow.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and put as many notes in as possible. Yeah. And that's not always the case, and like really stripping it back. I think a lot of artists can feel that they might not get heard if they don't have that incredible range and belt out. Yeah. But she's managed amazingly, and this is a heck of an achievement. There were a lot of rumours as to who would sing it.
Was there?
So Dua Lipa being one of them. Isn't there? Yeah. So we had Dua Lipa. Beyonce was another one, and I think that would have made sense.
I'm surprised she hasn't done one so far.
And the other person possibly would have been Lana Del Rey. And I think if you put her to this song, that would have worked.
That would have worked. That would have worked well.
Probably would have been all over it, even more so. I think she's done a great job. I wish she'd gone for it a little bit more at the end. And I know we've spoken about this before.
There's no big note really, is there?
And then there normally is. Yeah. There's normally that money note. If you think about Adele, she's got that note at the end where she absolutely belts it. All of them have got, when you look at Tina Turner, that ending when she sings, all of them have got these really powerful notes, or they've already from the get-go have gone for it. So if you look at Chris Cornell, he goes at it with a vengeance straight away. He's got that rocky sound he builds at the end as well. And then Sam Smith is just incredible, effortless, isn't he? Voice, his song, The Writings on the Wall, is by a country mile my favourite. Yeah.
It's great. I don't know if it's my favourite. I think Adele's might take it for me.
I love that song, but I've not listened to it anywhere near as many times as I've listened to Writing on the Wall.
Yeah. I know.
I think it's one of the best songs ever. Yeah. Did I just peak at the 4th podcast? I don't know. But I just think he's effortless. I also love Tina Turner though in Goldeneye. Yeah. I think she's obviously amazing.
That's a great song, yeah. And I think as a song, Live and Let Die is probably one of my favourites as well. By Paul McCartney. Yeah. Great song.
No, that is a really good shout as well. Okay then, so number 4. So this was Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. Again, I mentioned this in the previous podcast for our jogging playlist. And I actually put it to a poll on Instagram to find out which were the people's favourite song of 2020. And this one came out on top. Yeah. So according to our Instagram followers, this is the best song of 2020. So yeah, that means nothing, absolutely nothing. And
no awards.
Not at all. And most people may still disagree with that, but that's why music's so subjective. But
it is a good song, this one though, and it is one of the better songs of the year, I think. In a weird year, I think it's stopped a lot of music coming out this year. Yeah. But at the same time, it's prompted music to come out. So it's been a mixed year for music, but this is one of the highlights, I think.
Yeah, and having looked through and really searched through, yes, this is definitely one of the better ones. I don't think there was many great songs that were released this year, and this year in general has taken such a massive hit in so many different ways. It's just been awful, hasn't it? Not for me personally, this has been a magical year for me. Yes. I had a baby and it's my best year ever. I just want to put that out there. 2020 has been marvellous for me, but in so many ways and musically it has really suffered. But yeah, thank you so much The Weeknd for this song. Okay, so number 5 we have got, so this is a bit different. This is What's Love Got to Do With It?
And I think you're cheating with this one.
I'm not cheating. It was released this year.
I know it was, yeah.
And it was by Kygo and Tina Turner remix. So it was originally released in 1984. I
was going to say, you've still managed to slip an 80s song into a 2020 playlist.
Yes. Thank you, I love my work.
Yeah.
But it was released this year.
It was.
Thank goodness that it was. Because
it's a remix of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's still really good. A lot of the time remixes, I think, can be a bit pants. Yeah. but this one's brilliant. As soon as you hear her vocals, you're like, thank you, Tina Turner. Thank you for bringing this into our 2020.
Yeah.
She is an incredible vocalist.
She is.
She's just amazing.
She's got great tones to her voice, yeah.
So yeah, and the fact that she's still current now and relevant, and you put this out and it's still one of the best things to come out of this year, you know, compared to other artists who are much, much younger, and her song is amazing still. Yeah. And this was her most successful single ever.
Right. Ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I think it's worked its test of time. I think she's still doing an amazing job. So yeah, well done, Tina Turner.
I like the percussion that Kygo's put in this one as well. I think it's good.
Yeah,
it works with the song.
I think if you could go out dancing, this would be a really good song.
You could stay in and dance if you wanted. Yeah.
Well, that's what we would have to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that one as well. Okay, so next one we've got is Sam Smith, and that's Diamonds. So he's got absolutely beautiful vocals anyway, as I said earlier on. This isn't his best song, but I think that anything that Sam Smith touches always sounds great, and I think he just knows how to make a song work.
Yeah, he's always got a great voice, hasn't he? Very good voice.
What do you think of this song?
I like this song again. Yeah, I like Sam Smith. I think particularly his last album was one I particularly liked. Yeah. And I like this song as well. Yeah.
No, I think it's he's got a rich tone and he's got a lot of strength in his high vocals.
He's got a good range, hasn't he?
Yeah. And it's a really well resonated head voice. So that way his voice stands out. You hear him and you know it's him. It's super duper unique.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also think that he's got an incredible low range as well. So he is so versatile that you could give him any song and I think he could make it work.
Yeah.
I think he could put his hand to reggae and put his hand to, all different genres and he'd still be amazing.
Yeah, I think it would work. Yeah.
So yeah, I really like this. He's, according to the internet, he's referred to as a tenor, which I really hate that. I hate when they categorise soloists.
In one range.
Yeah, because students come to me and they'll say, oh, I'm an alto.
Yeah.
And then they'll think they're only going to sing low songs.
Yeah.
But that kind of puts them in a box.
It does.
You want
limits you then.
Yeah, it's so limiting, and I understand if in a choir you've got your strengths and you'll play to your strengths. So
Definitely.
Of course you want to be put where your voice naturally sits comfortably.
Yeah.
But when you're a soloist, how often is a song just in one?
You've got to cover a range of notes then, haven't you?
Yeah. So a lot of the time people do feel like something is beyond them because of what they've been told.
Okay.
And people say he's a tenor. He's got an incredible low range.
He has. Yeah.
So, I think that he is super versatile, and anyone that's a soloist should always aim to hit all the notes themselves.
Well, if you want that kind of sound and you want to put a range in your song to keep it interesting, you're going to need to.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. And I was reading an article about him, and he was saying he wasn't born with it.
No.
He didn't just wake up one day and suddenly be able to sing. It takes years of practice. Yeah. And that's the point, is stretching your vocal range. Yeah. And that's what he's done. To create that sound.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was a documentary on his last album that was very good as well. I think Apple did it.
Yeah, I remember that. That's good.
Yeah, it was really good. I love ones particularly that focus on the studio more, about the writing of the album and the musicians involved. Yeah. And there was a lot of that, and it was really good.
Yeah, no, I do. I think he's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so number 7, we have got This Is Wonder, and this is by Shawn Mendes. Now, I'm not normally a fan of his music in particular, but I do really like this song. Yeah. He's a Canadian singer, and this song was released December the 4th, 2020. So if you haven't heard it yet, it is brand spanking new. And he basically wants the world to know that he is madly in love, and that's what his whole new album is about.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
So with Selena Gomez?
No, he's with Camila Cabello.
That's it, Camila Cabello.
And she is...
Close enough.
Do you know who she is?
Yeah, she sang Havana.
And she's also from...
Oh, I don't know.
Fifth Harmony.
Is she really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She's the one who's in I'm worried about nothing.
Yeah.
I'm worried about nada.
I didn't know that was her.
Yeah. She's got kind of a nasal sounding vocal, but it kind of works for what she does.
Yeah.
Modern
it does.
Kind of sound. But yeah, he's absolutely head over heels in love with her, and basically his whole album is a big tribute to his love and how he can't explain it himself. In fact, this is what he's put. Mendes finds his true feelings too powerful to fully express. And he said, I think it's like when you see a moon or stars and you try to take a photo of it with your iPhone and then you just can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as good. He muses, it's not supposed to be captured, it's just supposed to be for us. And that's how he feels about her.
Yeah.
He can't put into words how much he loves
describe
her.
it properly.
Yeah. It's actually really cute, that, isn't it?
Because they did, do you remember when Lady Gaga did her At Home Together, I think it was called, that concert she did nearer to the beginning of the pandemic, when everyone was in lockdown, and she got all of her celebrity friends, they recorded songs at home, and then they did put the show together.
Yeah.
Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello did theirs together because they lived together. So they were sat at the piano, he played, and they both sang, and it was quite nice actually.
So you knew he was with her?
Yeah, I just get them mixed up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't tell them that.
Not very good with faces and names.
So. I doubt they're going to be listening to this, but if they were, they'd be very annoyed. Okay, so yeah, I do like it. I think it's a really nice power song. It's positive. It has been slated.
Has it?
Yeah, really. The whole album's been slated. I think because it is like a love album, lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if it's a nice thing and he's in love with somebody and he's singing about positive things, why can't
leave the boy alone?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's nice. I think it gives you a boost.
It does.
So yeah, if you haven't heard that one yet, definitely give it a listen. Okay, so my next song is completely different, and I'm really happy that this song is in the charts because I love classical music anyway, and there's a really nice story behind this one. And this is 4 Notes. And it's the BBC Philharmonic, okay? So basically, this was an 80-year-old man who's got dementia, and his name is Paul Harvey.
Right.
And basically, his experience was he was recording, his son Nick was recording him improvising a little 2-minute piece from 4 notes, F natural, A, D and B natural, and then his son posted the footage on Twitter. And then basically it went viral, and they decided to make a song out of it.
That's
Listeners
suggested,
story, they suggested that it be played by an orchestra. So Paddy O'Connell arranged for the song to be recorded in the BBC Philharmonic.
Okay.
And basically it got a whirlwind of attention, and he said we didn't expect any of it. You know, he says sometimes he can't even remember what he's done, or he can't. And he was even got spoken to by Stephen Sondheim. Got in touch with him about it and said, I love that song, I want that song. And it's really sad. Sometimes he can remember that and sometimes he can't. That's happened. But yeah, he said when he was after having just spoken to Stephen Sondheim, he said that was very special. I've always been an incredible fan. So yeah, and he said I didn't expect all this fuss and palaver because of my age. I'm a bit laid back about the whole thing in the nicest possible way. Mind you, I wouldn't mind conducting the BBC Philharmonic. They were fantastic. Cool. It's just a really sweet little story, I think.
Lovely, isn't it?
And the song is so beautiful. And I think what's interesting about this one is the way that music stays in your memory.
Yeah, and that's been proven with Alzheimer's and things, hasn't it? Yeah.
So, and in this case as well, they say mothers are naturally musical when they interact with their babies. So before they learn to understand words, children can understand their parents' expressions through rhythm, pitch and tempo.
Wow.
So it's like a natural hardwired element of the brain, and social interactions and musical language that result and build up from this. So it's so interesting that music, it triggers the memory. So it's the earliest memories that you have will be musical. And it's like hardwired into your brain, which is why people that suffer from senile dementia are able to sit at a piano and play a song that they haven't played. And that is just incredible, so amazing. And the nicest thing about this piece of music is all the proceeds of the single go to the Alzheimer's Society and Music for Dementia.
That's nice, isn't it? So, yeah, it's interesting. Again, another documentary. I do love a music documentary. But Stuart Copeland, the police drummer, did a documentary, and he showed to must have been a psychologist or something, his grandson, who wasn't even 2, I don't think.
I remember this.
Yeah, he couldn't.
I remember you telling me this.
Say a full sentence. This little boy. However, he could make the sound and rhythm, the melody and the rhythm of the alphabet song. but he couldn't pronounce the words properly or the letters. So it just shows how music is there first, and then the vocabulary can come later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Freddie sings to us, doesn't he? Yeah. He sings to himself. If we sing, he sings. He can't say a word. You know, it's incredible. It's just the start of everything. It's that sound and songs. Like if he hears something on the TV and it's a musical, he pays attention straight away. So there's obviously something in our brain that loves music.
Must be. Yeah.
So I really liked that, and I think it's a really good cause.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's, you know, and dementia is something that happens to so many people. Both of my nans had Alzheimer's. It's really, really sad. And it is hereditary, so good luck to you in the future. I'll leave you with that one. Yeah. And now over to you.
Over to me. Good. So, as I said, I think it's been a strange year for music. I think it has halted a lot of music this year that was supposed to come out. Yeah. But at the same time, it has produced music that wasn't going to come out. So, for example, Paul McCartney's album, which I've been waiting for, was released today.
And we listened to it this morning with our breakfast.
Yeah, we're halfway through it. I still haven't finished it yet. So I'm not going to pick one of those yet because I haven't finished the album. But he did that in lockdown and only did this album because of lockdown as well. Yeah. So I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
And then other albums have been halted a bit or delayed. But one of my favourite highlights for this year, again, was AC/DC's album. Power Up, and A Shot in the Dark particularly was my favourite song, but I did talk about that on a previous podcast, so we won't go into that today. But that's definitely one of my favourite songs from the year. So I have picked 2 songs. So I have picked, my first one is a blues song by one of my favourite artists and favourite current guitarist, Joe Bonamassa.
Oh yeah, okay.
I absolutely love this guy. He's an amazing musician.
He is really good.
He's very talented, very talented. So he released an album earlier in the year, and off of that was When One Door Opens, and that's one of my favourite songs of this year. Yeah. I think it's again blues, 6/8 timing, so I love that. It sounds great. Yeah. Amazing guitar playing, and he's a decent vocalist as well.
You know, I really like his voice.
And he's collaborated with a lot of people. But this song I really like, and this song starts off, like I say, 6/8, but then halfway through it goes to 4/4, and totally changes the feel of the song, a bit more rocky for this bridge, which I really like. I think it works really well. Yeah. And he recorded the album in Abbey Road, which is obviously where the Beatles recorded.
Does that mean he's been over here?
Yeah. So it was recorded, it must have started and maybe even finished last year. Yeah. But it was this year it was actually released, the album.
Was it Joe Bonamassa that had that yard sale that you wanted to go to because we happened to be in California at the time?
So he is, again, another reason I like him. He's a massive gear nerd. Yeah. Just like me. The difference between me and him is he can afford to buy the gear. So he does.
Yeah, and he obviously buys far too much and then has a yard sale.
So every year for the past couple of years, or past several years now, he does a garage sale and he sells off loads because he literally buys all the time vintage guitars, vintage amps, all these kind of things. So if you look at his Instagram, his house is full of the stuff. So every year he has a little garage sale, kind of very American, garage sale, where he sells off
yard sale.
Stuff. Yeah. And we were in California one year and it was going ahead for 2 days, the Saturday and Sunday. We were a bit further north on the Saturday, but on the Sunday we were going to be in LA. So I was like, great, we're going.
And by the way, I said that he could go, you know, as a good wife, and I knew it would have literally made your life to go. Yeah. But
he announced at the end of the Saturday everything was sold. So Sunday didn't go ahead, so we never made it.
You might have even met him as well.
I would have loved that. He's a fantastic guitarist.
Never mind.
But never mind, eh? But that's one of my highlights this year musically. His album and particularly that song. So that's my first one. Now, like I said, this year has halted a lot of music, so I was a little bit struggling to choose my next song. So I have actually picked a song I quite like, is Watermelon Sugar.
Oh, okay.
By Harry Styles.
Yes.
I really like Harry Styles.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's so not like you.
I know. But his last album particularly was really good.
Did you hear this song from The Search, the Little Mix?
No, I heard it. So the first time I heard this song was earlier in the year. Oh, okay. One of my students asked to play it. So I obviously had to learn to play it to teach them. So that's where I first heard about it. Yeah. But it was, I just think he's he's really into good music, Harry Styles. He's obviously very styled on Keith Richards and the Rolling Stones in later years of One Direction.
Yeah.
But then the album he released, just the music was really good. Proper instruments.
Did you watch? Did you recently watch?
He did a documentary again.
Yeah.
I love a music documentary.
And did you like it?
Yeah, really liked it.
Was he arrogant or was he?
No. I mean, a little bit. I think that's the downside of him. He has got a little bit of cockiness to him, hasn't he?
That's what I would have imagined.
But again, he had a lot of musicians helping him. They went off to... I forget where they went now. But they went off to some beautiful destination. I think it was Jamaica, maybe. And the record label obviously paid for a big house. They all stayed in just to write the album.
Nice.
So they wrote it out there. And then when they came back, they recorded the album.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. I think it was, again, in Abbey Road again, they recorded this one. Because he seems to be a big fan of the Stones, the Beatles, all these kind of people. But yes, it was recorded there. And it's that last album, that was a really good album. And this Watermelon Sugar, I really like as well.
I must admit, I do like this song. And I saw it from the Little Mix Search. I think it was since September who won. I think they did.
Right, did they?
Did it in one of the final episodes.
Yeah.
And then I was singing it for a few days afterwards.
Yeah.
So it gets stuck in your head.
It does.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it is. Good song. So that's my second pick.
Thank you very much for those. I think all of those songs are very varied, which I love to have, a really good variation of songs. And, there were some good songs to come out of 2020, so thank you so much to everyone that brought out a good song and kept us going through this time. And thank you guys all so much for listening. We have one more podcast of 2020, which is coming next week, so make sure you tune in for it, and all take care of yourselves. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.